spend a bunch of time in the laundry room. And I don't know how 25 baskets in 3 different colors or a beautiful laundry room is going to help me get those clothes put away. And if you've been living out of laundry baskets like I was, you've come to the right place. Today, we're going to discuss 3 tips to reduce the abundance of clothing that you have in your home and draw directly from the words of Jesus to see how we can reclaim abundant living in our laundry room. Coming up next. Hi, I'm Mary Beth from the AtWhatCostBlog.com, and if this is the first time we've met, I'm married to Brian, and we have 3 boys, ages 5 through 8. And it seemed like our laundry skyrocketed overnight when Brian and I adopted our 3 boys almost 4 years ago. That laundry was everywhere. It seemed like our house was busting at the seams, and yet we never had enough. It was too much. I had more laundry than I was able to wash. I did not have time to hang out in my laundry room and do hours and hours of laundry, and I certainly, after a long day, was not going to sit on the couch and fold 18 loads of laundry. So that brings us to our first tip. If the problem was that it was all too much, then the solution was that we needed to reduce the amount of clothing that we had. We had enough laundry to get us through at least a month's worth of clothing without having to do laundry. And I think we've sort of been conditioned to feel that way, that we have to be prepared for any situation. We tend to think that we need a lot more than we actually do to survive. Our second tip also has to deal with abundance. The wrong kind of abundance. We had way too many places that we could store dirty laundry. Each child had a bin. Their bin would hold up to 3 loads of laundry. My husband and I both had a laundry hamper, and then we had one for towels, and then we had one downstairs, and then we had one for the boys' bathroom towels. And all of a sudden, it became very clear that when all of those hampers were full, we had 14 loads of laundry. So the second tip is really to figure out where you're storing your dirty laundry and whether or not you have too many collection areas for you to be able to actually process that laundry on laundry day. So we reduced down to 1 hamper in our hallway, and our 3 boys just take their clothes right to that hamper after they have gotten dressed in the morning or after their baths at night, and I can really see how much laundry we have during the week. When they had those hampers in their bedrooms, that was just collecting stuff. I couldn't see those until they were really out of underwear. I mean, let's be real. For most of us, I think that's probably when we do the laundry. I'm out of underwear, please wash my clothes. 3 loads of laundry per child later. That's 9 loads of laundry at our house. And we would just be drowning in our laundry. So reducing the places that we were able to store that dirty laundry gave us a better idea of when we actually needed to wash clothing. That brings us to our third tip. Set a schedule. For some people, it may be that you do all of your laundry in one day, and after having a reduced wardrobe, it really changes the amount of time you spend doing laundry. So for us, we do a Monday, Wednesday, Friday wash for our boys' clothing. On Tuesdays, I'll do towels or sometimes sheets, and on Thursdays, I do either the sheets or the towels, whichever ones didn't get done. And then for my husband and I, it's really up to us to do our laundry when it permits or when we need it. Sometimes, we just don't have the same schedule, or we don't go through clothing as fast as our kids do. But that's what works for us. For you, it may be different. There are so many different factors: the size of your washing machine, the amount of clothing that you actually keep, and then also the amount of time that you have to actually process it. So when you're thinking about setting your schedule, think through when you actually have time during your day to do that. And I know for some of us, it may mean that we get up an extra half hour early or stay up an extra half hour late so that we're able to process those things and get them taken care of in smaller chunks versus larger chunks, where now we spend all day on a Saturday folding laundry. I don't know about you, but I'd rather have time with my family. Jesus tells us that he came to give us life, and to give us life abundantly. But I don't think that he meant laundry baskets full of stuff and feeling overwhelmed and like we couldn't ever make it. Let's turn to God's word and see what he does say about abundant life. In Matthew 6, verses 25 and 28, while Jesus is preaching the Sermon on the Mount, he asks the question, "Why do you worry? Why do you worry about what you will eat or what you will wear?" In other words, why do you worry about these things? After all, they're just things. He goes on to say, "Why do you worry about your clothes? See the flowers of the field. They neither labor nor spin." After all of my searching for a laundry system, there's so many resources out there. It was overwhelming. There's baskets and color-coded systems and homemade detergents and fabric softeners, and this is bad for my family and that's bad for my family, and I was just laboring and my head was spinning, and at the end of the day, I still had half full dressers, 6 laundry baskets full of clothes all over our house, a couch full of laundry, and I was none the happier. Having the wrong kind of abundance robbed us of joy and peace in our home and the opportunity to teach our children how to manage their belongings. The gratitude and the gain for me really is in having less. And I think that's the life that Jesus is calling us to. Oftentimes that abundance is having less. The less we have, the more room we have for Jesus. Whew, that got a little deep, but that's okay. I'd rather be overwhelmed by Christ than overwhelmed trying to find 14 laundry baskets that match to implement a brand new system that ultimately my family's probably not going to get right. So please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear what works for you, what doesn't work for you, what you think you may be able to gain out of changing your system, how you may set your schedule up. We're all struggling, and it's great to have community and to be able to draw from the experience of others. If you liked this video and you'd like to see more videos like this or videos about anything else, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and be sure to subscribe.